Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Cleveland Browns. 2-1-2 teams, each hoping to get back to 500, and we're underway in Week 4. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Set, 180.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, but it's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now this throw caught left side, and they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 16 yards, a first down.
Hey, lad, 180. Right now, let's go. You gonna see me in your nightmares, son.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Mayfield. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 38-yard line.
And the Browns' first down.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Mayfield. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now it's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago. They're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
That defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take it. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing the ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
Now the 3rd leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mayfield. This is the tight end, Njoku. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So on 4th down, out comes the Browns kicker, Austin Seibert. And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. So they'll come away with nothing here. A disappointing result even on a day like this.
And as a kicker in the rain, you've got to slow things down a little bit. Give your holder an extra half second to make sure everything's secure. And here, he might have rushed this one a little, and it winds up no good.
Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The stop was made by Jannard Avery.
Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. So a first quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Kareem Hunt, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
A run for Nick Chubb. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
The Browns opted not to pick a running back with their first 2 selections at number 1 and 4 in the first round. But they circled back in the second round and got a really good one to Nick Chubb out of Georgia. Broke off a nice run there, and that's where he's good. Good vision, able to see where the hole is, and make nice gains each time he touches the ball.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Cut! 180!
48, Mike, 48. Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
He's not exactly had a banner start to this game. We're still in the first quarter. He's already thrown an interception, and that should have been the second one.
On 2nd and 15 now. Mayfield. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
He finds Beckham complete. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
King! Go!
Mayfield leaves it for Hunt on the draw. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. Matt Judon there to bring him down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
180! I smell fear. Point it right. I smell fear in that offense.
On 3rd and 1, here's Mayfield. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
You and I both know we're into a whole new realm of football because we're not just looking at tendencies anymore. We're looking at analytics, and I've got to think the analytics on 3rd and 1 say run the football.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Ravens will take over at their own 20-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. This pass into the arms of Snead. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Jackson eluding the pressure right. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Jackson. Flush to his right. Oh, he just needed to throw it away, but instead, out of bounds he goes, and that's a sack. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
Stop your whining.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. And an alley to run. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
Well, he was looking at a dime formation, 6 defensive backs on the field, so he's looking for anyone to throw the football to, but he didn't have anyone open, so he took off and ran for it, but he came up just short, and that brings up 4th down.
And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Christian Kirksey, and this defense will take over right at midfield. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
Hey, check 24, check 24.
Mike 48, Mike 48. I got it.
Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. The 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Kareem Hunt with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. Extra point by Seibert up and good, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Let's go.
The Browns take over first and 10.
The Browns drive about to get started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Hey, Zoo.
Here's Mayfield. He finds his target, Beckham. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham, 79 yards. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. The electric OBJ, the short reception, and then he did the rest of the work himself.
You know, there's a thing that the players always talk about, the coaches in the league, they call it play speed. Because, you know, we had that time speed when we're running the 40s at the combine and, you know, in pro days and all of that. But play speed is different. And OBJ's play speed is some of the best in the league. In other words, when he has the ball in his hands or he's running a route, he runs it just a little bit harder than most people. And oftentimes, you come up wrong on your angles trying to tackle him.
Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
11 yards there, first down.
Come on, fellas.
It's a gain of 11.
Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Christian Kirksey able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Here's Jackson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
We own them.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. Tackle made there by Tony Jefferson.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down, That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, my initial thought was that maybe he was just trying to blindly throw this one away, and maybe he was. But he's going to get away with it because as he tried to throw it over the left sideline there's a receiver right there in the area, so no grounding call.
Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he'll go out of bounds after getting this across the 15. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Check, 180.
Check, 48's the mic. Man, that's trash. That's trash.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
180.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
What's that?
And they take a knee.
Mayfield on the keeper.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a really, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And he's going to go down again. Olivier Vernon in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done. And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Mayfield now. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Muhammad Wilkerson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
12 yards on the return that time, and the Ravens, they'll take over.
At their own 40-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On 2nd and 15 now. Jackson. Snead's got it. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Number 53. Mike 53. I got one.
Here's Jackson to throw. They go screen. This is Ingram. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a first down. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
That's another Baltimore.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. Sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
He's able to get 6, a nice pickup down to the 21.
A 6-yard pickup.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Morgan Burnett. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
He's going deep for Brown. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Demarius Randall. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
At the 21-yard line.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. Had a great move on the play as he takes this one past the 25. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Back now in Baltimore. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The Browns on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, Mayfield. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Powerful running. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Watch the fly. Watch the fly. Motion. Pop.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. But he will be stopped behind the line as he will not come close to the marker. The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Bend it.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run. And just lost track, and it cost him.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Now Hunt. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
Mayfield looks to throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram. He goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield. Although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence. Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. Draw play. Ingram now. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. And now Jackson will look to throw it, escaping the pressure right. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Morgan Burnett, and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
It's your time, baby. We did our part. 40.
180. Know your job.
Double tight.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Mayfield on the keeper. It's a loss of a yard.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
We got 4. Check number 6. Check number 6.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Mayfield on the keeper.
180.
And it's 3rd down.
Double tight.
What's that?
And they will take a knee here.
Mayfield on the keeper.
Here's Jamie Gillen now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And this offense is going to take over at their own 20-yard line.
Watch QB drop.
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. One last shot for Jackson. Got some room at the 30. And he'll take this all the way up to the 38-yard line. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Cleveland, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the hit. I would never get this off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head, and when you ever overstay it, your thoughts are never everything you want till when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of the distort. I'ma leave it on the side. You on the Christ when the breath on this set. Let me speak on behalf of the dead. I'ma leave, I'ma speak. I'm sick in the head. Come on, come on. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Tell the risk I was never at the hit. I would never get this off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did.
Playing skill.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They say you switch it, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When the not save us, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist. Watch out for this, I never switch, you never switch. I never switch, I never switch. Ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist,
Hey, the young man.
boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. And I gotta win no matter what, like fourth down, Hail Mary, no punch. Like every time I touch down, I gotta stunt. Randy Moss, yeah, my numbers going up. All these trophies, what do I need any more for? Check the stats up, you can check the scoreboard. Check the stats, Jake Critch, I'm the QB. Ran it up and then I went and got a new freeze. How it fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How it fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. If you ain't a winner, then don't come round. On my way to another city, it's a touchdown. Underlay, yeah, I gotta get it in a rush now. Let them hate, try to knock me down, but we got up now. You say that you ballin', keep it real though. Hey, why I never saw you in the field though? Hey, I make it look easy, it's a field goal. I've been grinding for a minute and I'm still going. How it fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How it fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon.
Yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah,
championships. All my records go hard, this a champion hit. I've been working for this moment like I've been in the gym. Jumping all over hurdles, I'm evading the pit. Head to head with anybody, take them, I can shake them. I invite them to the fire, then I bake them, I'ma break them. I'm a Hall of Fame legend, they should go and hang my jersey. Made to put in work, I don't think they really heard me like, move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get up out the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Ain't no stopping me, ain't no topping me. I am up, number one seed, ain't nobody popping up. Got a squad of gorillas from the jungle suited up. You kicking off against me, hope you ready, get it up. I be booted up, popping out a sprinter or a truck. Whole team chasing bags while they chasing us. Calling audible, I read the game, I think it's time to switch. You get hit, if I miss, then my teammates got the blitz, Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get up out the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains.
S-T-R-O. Yeah. How many of y'all came to win? Oh, they asking my name, huh? You ready? S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you. Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up. I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support ride. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winter side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Murder beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Uno, no, I can't be number two. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Murder beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lag. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in the ice cream whip, triple school. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. Wanna run to the bed until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't
yard dash. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold copy. End zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, the man. Oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100 yard dash. 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 Yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerge victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold copy. End zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, the man. Oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100 yard dash. 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 They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's noted in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash.
The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on the mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top is missing, the opposition in. All that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click.
P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P-P bring the bass bird.
Swear I'm going big like a lineman. She want bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money, we aligned in. Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over, he in diamonds. He the only reason why I do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that all makes sense. Ay, when you making bands, can make friends. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Ay, I know we the ones that ain't them. Pull both hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going bigger. Postmates how I deliver. My game too cold, made it shiver. But I'm still a hot boy, cool it down, let it simmer. Hey, see him mad, got him bitter. Can't stop the shine with a dimmer. Only what I give her, and she let her call me baby, but I do not need a sitter. See me dip, yeah, I'm saucing. People at the bank see me often. Let the money run, it's a faucet. She gave me the that's a bosses. Took over the game, now we all in. I was down in the chips, then went all in. Throwing up the game, ain't no vomit. Make my mama stop working, that's the promise. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm
P-P-P-P-Love, time to bring the bass bird.
From Prada, rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spin. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down when the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Know you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spin. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you
and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready?
Get ready, dog.
This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Potts, and Dave went.
Still here, still in your ear with a stop so hot you'll see where all the sun rays went.
Legs, arms, the head, all being moved in a frenzy.
The blends be all the right cred,
meaning credentials.
best of both worlds when we rocking over pearls.
In the instrumental. Are you ready? Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, to the letter right, turn it up, we giving the show.
But can you rock it like rocket
What you
fuel?
talking about, spacer out your mind?
But can you rock it like rockets,
That's a
fool?
close encounter of what kind? When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever.
Sick with the talk, the pass to your receiver.
All about running the spot.
And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather.
Cardio kingpin.
Subjugate the dub play.
And you know we can't wait to bring spins.
A-star quizzes, A+ the final.
Vocals we align, we'll move it all
Simultaneously over joints we rock.
We earn
30 years so you can say we got
3 turns.
live off the board, unlike you and your chess men.
We install doubt in you and your yes men.
And if the game had veins, we'll insert
Upheaval the ground.
cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing.
Relieving the kings of all
So are
crown.
you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, y'all peak the flow.
But can you rock it like rocket
What you
fuel?
talking about, spacer out your mind?
But can you rock it like rockets,
That's a
fool?
close encounter of what kind?
Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Turn it up, y'all peak the flow.
Are you ready? Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, we giving the show.
But can you rock it like rocket
What you
fuel?
talking about, spacer out your mind?
But can you rock it like rockets,
That's a
fool?
close encounter of what kind?
But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
Blow your mind.
Why you do that like that? Like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag. My bad. You ain't get too bad. My bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the check calling. Let me click over real quick to let my check talk it. I eat it. Ooh, Pac-Man, that's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back the way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad, but I'm past that. But a NASDAQ, that's cash. When the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit. I'm glad when the check missed the direct hit. I'm sad like, who's that knocking at my window? My window. They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a, she an. Yeah. Why you do that like that? Like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag. My bad. You ain't get too bad. My bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your
top of the throne. I ain't a king of the pawn. Hop on a jet across the globe. I guess the road is my home and there's so many milkers burning my dome and like turbulent air. I'm switching these flows. If you look at my neck, boy, I'm letting it snow. I'm sturdy as hell, as a vessel alone. They showing me love in my city. Gangs ain't hippies. Women like Nicky know what I'm about. I'm not. The stereotypes, they do not fit me. I'm bigger than life. Gave everyone jaws. I'm not a guard. Go hard with a squad. I'm playing my part, but I'm LeBron. Rings to the team. I feel Jackson and hard. The homie calling from a cell. A couple of homies be making it. I just want all of them dudes to the well. Not worry about taking a couple of L's. Don't sin for me, just win for me. Don't kill for me, just live for me. Keep it real for me. We eat together, leave the bill for me like. Hand on my heart, I give it all I got. Walk the walk and talk the talk. Take it higher, that's a God. Hand on my heart, no, I give it all I got. Walk the walk, talk the talk. Take it higher, that's a God. Never stopping, that's a must. Always winning, never lost. GPS, I never lost. GPS, I never lost. Who do it better than me? Yeah. Vision on 2020, yeah. VVS, Clarity, yeah. Determination, laser focus. Banging on they door, they taking notice. Taking notice, taking notice. Determination, laser focus. Banging on they door, they taking notice.
Rick Rock. TikTok. West Hip Hop. Are you ready for some football? Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll it when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard, my team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, I get it. I got cleats on my feet, jersey on my back, helmet on my head, ready to attack like that. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass.